going to show you these new Seint collections. They're kind of reworking the shades, which is great because these shades are shades I recommend all the time. This is level 2, which is a great collection for me. I get a lot of messages from people who ask what specific shades I wear because they think like my shades will work for them. Okay, so if you're similar in tone to me, the level 2 or the level 3 can work for you. I can fit into both. So this is the level 2, number 8. The number is the amount of tints that you get. So there's 4 on the top layer and 4 on the bottom. So this one you get 3 highlights, which I'm going to show you why that's so good because you get to custom mix and that will last you throughout almost the entire year. Probably the entire year, depending on how much sun you get in the summer. You will get white peach, candlelit, amber, and then you get a contour shade. This is ash, and then you get 2 blush shades, nude and Cindy, an illuminator, which is Angel. It's my favorite, probably #1 recommended illuminator out of all of them, and a bronzer. This is Tan Lines. So I recommend a lot in my shade matches, amber and white peach. I also recommend a lot in my shade matches, candlelit and white peach, and I recommend a lot a custom mix of candlelit and Tan Lines bronzer as your main shades. So this collection fits a lot of faces. I'm going to do my makeup quickly. I'll speed it up and do a voiceover, but I'm going to show you how you can use these shades to do a quick 1 palette look for your face makeup. They also have a larger collection that includes 2 different brushes and a few eyeshadows, and I'm wearing the eyeshadows today. There are many different ways you can apply this makeup, but I'm going to show you how to apply the highlights and the contour in 1 layer. So when you're doing it in 1 layer, you want to start with your contour. I'm doing contour along the hairline and under each cheekbone. This side has more than the other side, but that's okay because it's going to blend just the same. And I run it along the underside of my jawline. Then I'm going to move to highlight. So it's important to start with contour and highlight first because then it'll show you everywhere that you didn't place product so that you don't use anything extra. I just dip in with my finger, I place it in the inner corners of my eyes, along the outer corner, and then I'm going to go right down the center of my face. And I'm barely tapping into these shades, so I know it looks like a lot of contrast, but that's because this is my brightener shade, so it's going to stand out more on camera and look like more, but it blends out so sheerly. It's so pretty. Okay, and I quickly did a little contour on the side of my nose. So here's my main shade. This is like my base shade. And this collection's so perfect for me because I am exactly in between amber and candlelit right now. So when you're in between shades, you just do what I'm doing here. You tap into both. I'm like 3 taps candlelit, 1 tap amber. And as I get closer to winter, I might become only candlelit. Okay, I keep a makeup eraser towel at my table that I can like swirl off to if I need to switch between shades, but really the makeup just blends really well. I barely have to do this. Okay, so this is blending in real time. I'm starting with my contour. I know some people do it opposite, but I like to start with my contour because I like a lot of brightness around my eyes and I want to keep that brightness. So I'm smoothing out my contour, blending it down my neck. That will help my neck match my face because everybody's necks are always lighter. And then I just start stippling and swirling everything else out. I am using the tiniest, lightest pressure. Like I'm barely touching the skin. It's like I'm just using the end of the bristles to do all the work. And this is the brush that comes with this collection too. It's the brush I recommend everybody start with because you can do your whole face with it as I'm doing here. And this makeup application is actually slower than my regular everyday application. Anytime I do makeup for camera, it always takes a little bit longer, like almost 2 times longer. So this video is about just under 4 minutes. I could probably do this in about 2.5 minutes because it's so funny when you're doing makeup for the camera. It's like pause, look at the camera so you can see what I'm doing. Pause. It just takes longer. Now that everything's smoothed out, I'm going to add blush and bronzer. You could definitely dot this on and do everything in 1 step, but I'm doing it in 2 steps just to really show placement because I get asked that a lot too. So this is Tan Lines bronzer. I place it just above my contour and I'm almost using it to help blend out the remaining contour. I didn't totally blend my contour the first time because I knew I was going to add blush and bronzer on top, and that just helps smooth everything together and I didn't want to lose my contour. So bronzer goes cheekbones, along the top of my forehead, and down my neck just to add a little bit of extra warmth. Then blush. This collection has 2 shades, Nude and Cindy, and I'm going to mix both of them. So I start with the darker shade in the back, the lighter shade in the front. That's how you want to do an ombre blush. And you get Angel Illuminator in this collection, which is my favorite illuminator, and I place it at the top of my cheekbone, at the very, very top where the sunlight hit. I love to blend my blush shades with a little bit of illuminator on my brush because it gives like this airbrushed, flawless, perfect look that I like. It's just so pretty. So you can definitely add more illuminator on top if you like a really pretty dewy look. So for blush, I don't want to lose my contour underneath, so I just stipple and tap. You can see my brush almost makes like this vibrating motion. That's because I'm tapping up and down to get things blended. Now I'm gonna line my lips with my favorite lip liner, and then I place both of those lip and cheeks that I just used on top. So I've got lip liner underneath,
Then I have Nude Lip and Cheek here. I'm going slow, slower than normal, so you can see what it looks like on its own. And then Cindy on top. I love a pinky nude lip, so these two shades blend together really, really pretty. And then a little bit of that illuminator, that can go on the lips too. And that's pretty much it. So then you can add setting powder if you like, setting spray if you like, and you're good to go.